All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my thoughts on Ryan Garcia versus Oscar Duarte officially being announced next in the sport of boxing. So, the news broke last week that Ryan Garcia will be making his in-ring return back to the boxing ring December 2nd against Oscar Duarte. The fight will be taking place in the super lightweight division at 140 pounds, and the fight will take place in Houston, Texas. So, this will be Ryan Garcia's first fight, his first outing, his return back to the sport of boxing after suffering his first career loss against Gervonta Tank Davis and a monumental fight, a big-time fight, one of the biggest fights that the sport of boxing has seen over the last few years. Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia delivered that fight. Unfortunately, Ryan Garcia was on the losing end of that fight and lost to Gervonta Tank Davis by knockout. Got knocked out by a body shot in the 7th round and has not been heard or seen in a boxing ring since. Now he will be looking to make his return December 2nd back in the sport of boxing. I'm looking forward to his return. Not seeing silly. I'm glad that we are seeing a mature Ryan Garcia and his return back to the sport of boxing. Ryan Garcia, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, not taking anything away from him, but he just made a name for himself by hitting pads, making blindfolded videos of punching pads, hitting punching pads, doing creative things on TikToks, and being a social media influencer, which is okay. And I'm not taking anything away from what he did in the sport of boxing because he has a great amateur record, but that is the way how Ryan Garcia truly became as popular as he is today, with those silly punching pad videos that he used to make all over TikToks and all social media platforms across the world today. So I'm glad that we're not seeing Ryan Garcia do this anymore when he has a big fight on the horizon. This is something that we've seen for quite some time. He's not doing it anymore. He's more focused. He's been training with one of the best trainers in the sport of boxing, that being Derek James. Derek James won Boxing Trainer of the Year back in 2022. As you guys know, Derek James trains with Errol Spence. He trains with Jermell Charlo. He trains with Anthony Joshua, Frank Martin. You guys know that if you follow the sport of boxing, Derek James has a monopoly row of talented fighters that he trains, and he's one of the best trainers in the sport of boxing today. So I'm looking forward to seeing Ryan Garcia in his return. I want to see how well him and Derek James have been working on the fundamentals. I want to see how well Ryan Garcia has been working on his defense. I want to see that aspect of Ryan Garcia grow into a better boxer that a lot of people out there believe that he can be in the sport of boxing, because the talent is there. Now you just got to put it all together. And hopefully Derek James has fixed his flaws, because his return fight is going to be no joke. Oscar Duarte is no joke. This is a real competition. This is going to be some real competition, and he's going to see in his first fight and his return back to the sport of boxing December 2nd of this calendar year. Oscar Duarte is 26-1. 26-1. He has one draw to his resume as well. He has 21 knockouts to his resume. He likes to walk down his opponents, apply pressure. He's a strong power puncher. I hope Derek James has really worked on Ryan Garcia's defense, because if the defensive skills have not been improved by Ryan Garcia, Oscar Duarte is going to give him a run for his money, and we could truly see Ryan Garcia on upset alert in his return back to the sport of boxing. If he is not careful, Oscar Duarte could win this fight and play spoiler and knock out Ryan Garcia in his big-time return back to the sport of boxing. But let's get to the fun part. That's in December. And if Ryan Garcia takes care of business December 2nd, if he's victorious against Oscar Duarte, Oscar De La Hoya has some big plans for Ryan Garcia in the early part of 2024 for Super Bowl weekend at that. Oscar De La Hoya has been in talks with Bob Arum to have a super fight with Teofimo Lopez for a WBO world title opportunity at the super lightweight division at 140 pounds. Now, Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez would be an exciting fight, and that would be a great fight to have Super Bowl weekend. This is a great fight to be made between Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez. If you guys follow the sport of boxing, there has been 4 labelized new kings of the sport of boxing that were labelized years ago. That being Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Teofimo Lopez. You get Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia in the ring with each other. That's 2 out of the 4 new labelized kings meeting in the sport of boxing for a mega fight. Both Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez are hard-hitting fighters. Both have a lot to offer in the sport of boxing, and this will be a fun fight to kick off the calendar year 2024. I'm all in to see Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez, but he has to take care of business against Oscar Duarte on December 2nd, or you can kiss that fight goodbye, because Ryan Garcia will go MIA if he's not victorious against Oscar Duarte. That's going to be a fun fight to cover. Do not be surprised if that's an upset, but I'll save my prediction for that time when that fight comes around in November, December. But those are my thoughts on Ryan Garcia versus Oscar Duarte taking place next in the sport of boxing.